Well, today on Nation Window Cleaners Podcast, we're talking about pricing for 2025. Residential window cleaning, route window cleaning, commercial window cleaning, prices for all, averages, and talk about why we're charging what we are. So, if you're a window cleaner or thinking about getting into window cleaning, stay tuned to WCR Nation. What's up, everybody? Jersey here from windowcleaner.com, and you are here. What is up? Happy day to you. Hopefully, spring has sprung. If it's your first time here, still hope spring is sprung, but we have hundreds of episodes to listen to. It's been going on every single week for 7.5 years. It's crazy. So go back, listen, watch, go to Spotify, by the way. If you're on Spotify, it's a great platform. Leave a review for the podcast. Be super awesome. Anyway, let's get to it. So every year I talk pricing, and pricing changes and fluctuates a little bit. And last year or the year before, was like the biggest change that we've had in a very long time because the economy was what it was. And anyway, everything that we do when you're talking about customers, you know that I always raise prices beginning of the year, 2% over inflation, keep them relevant, makes a lot of sense. Do that all the time. But your initial pricing can change. Because if you are in busy season and somebody calls you, your pricing can be higher than when you're not. And when you're talking about any type of options, you can change your price for a service anytime. Because we're not disaster relief where you can't price gouge or whatever. And I'm not saying go crazy because they're going to just say no. But what I'm saying is if you're slower, you can charge your normal prices. Never go below your normal prices. But if you're super busy and you can't find time to fit them in, charge a little bit more. If you have somebody who says, hey, I need a Saturday, it's the only time I can do, and you don't work Saturdays, maybe think about doing Saturdays, but with a premium Saturday charge or something, right? We did that every now and then if somebody like absolutely had to do weekends, very rare, maybe once or twice a week, once or twice a year, we would do a weekend. And I would just pay the guys, obviously, their overtime, and the premium charge basically kind of went to them. It was to get more stuff done. We're still making it hourly, and then they work a little bit more hours. Not that I want to burn everybody out. By the way, if you're always working Saturday, why not think about hiring more people? And also, by the way, I had my company for 16 years, and I worked I didn't, but the guys maybe worked 10 Saturdays in all of those years. So when you say, oh yeah, no, my customers need Saturdays. No, it's because you offer Saturdays. They don't, right? But charge what you will. But the reason you charge what you do is to obviously pay bills, make a profit, but then also be able to feed the beast. The bigger you are, the more you actually need to charge to kind of feed everything, right? The more hours, but you have to be there. I do pricing on Pro window cleaning, by the way, if you're there. I do polls, and average is still $100 to $125 an hour. A lot of people making average a lot more than that. But then I always see some people doing like $60 an hour. I don't even understand how for $60 an hour you can pay bills. Like, what are you paying the guys to do that? And advertising and marketing and SEO, and how is it a business? Those are the people that have a job. If you just have a job working for somebody and you make $60 an hour, that's pretty good. But if you have a company and you're only making $60 an hour, not good. So there's some reasons why we charge what we charge, obviously. But another thing is that pricing as a whole does not work as a discount. Like, this is not getting somebody to buy a cheeseburger at 3 o'clock. We're going to have a happy hour special. That exists because they want cheaper drinks, cheaper food if you go to Sonic or whatever has their happy hour, at times that aren't busy. So like, we want to try to entice people to come when they're normally not buying. That doesn't work in a luxury business. Okay, let's jump into it though. There's 3 types of window cleaning, basically, and then add-ons, right? The 3 types of window cleaning are route, meaning storefronts, meaning jobs you go to every week or every 2 weeks. It could be every month, but really, really push them to not do that. That's too far. It is commercial, which is every 3 months, every 6 months, once a year. Don't let them go once a year. It's too far. Do it 6 months at least. Because the nice thing with commercial, by the way, is you could take commercial and fill it in the spots that are slower. You're slower before spring and you're slower before fall. Take your commercial, because you get to schedule when they are, and fill them in those times. Commercial is super valuable. And the last one is residential. And maybe you do just one of these services, and maybe you do all of them. I think, and who cares what I think, but I think you should do all of them. I really do. There's a place for all of them. Route for frequency, because rain or shine, you got jobs all year round, every week, every 2 weeks. Commercial for the big tickets, right? Spring is crazy. You're averaging $350 every time you stop your truck. They're great. And commercial, they're big chunks of money that you'll not typically get right away, but you could fill the space that you are slower with everything else, which is really, really nice. To make a really complete schedule, I think you need to, personally. But do what you want. But out of the three, pricing is different for each. And realistically, the pricing difference between them is because of the frequency, and the quality. If you go to a route job and you're like, I'm the best window cleaner. Neat. No one cares. It's route. You're going to be there next week. Why are you caring so much? And because there's a lot of people out there who don't really hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying do a bad job. I'm saying you don't have to get them 100% in a microscope. That's not what it is. Houses, you got to go a little higher, right? Residential, to start with, that's most companies' bread and butter, unless you're just a route company. But my pricing for route is at $7.50 a pane for the outs. And by the way, I always say this every time because I get pricing questions all the time. People are like, yeah, I heard your pricing. What about this one? There's three options. Is it commercial, route, or residential? Oh, it's resident. Well, then you know the price. The price is always the same per pane because per pane works. You could have a house with 100 panes. You could have a house with 10 panes. You may be down to your truck minimum. But panes mean piece of glass. One pane, one piece of glass. A double hung window is 2 panes of glass, right? 2 pieces. Now, the only time this kind of gets a little bit weird and sour is French windows, actual cut-up windows, because the panes are super small and there's a lot of them. If you were at that pricing, you'd be like, all right, that'll be $64,000, and people just aren't going to pay that. But don't squeegee a French window. Spray foam and towel. It will save you so much time, and it'll be almost as fast as doing a normal window. But then you start dropping per pane of a Frenchie is different. A Frenchie window is typically $2.50 a pane in a Frenchie. But it's got to be a real cut-up. If it's a fake cut-up and those grids are in between the panes, well, then you charge normal pricing. And in all pricing for residential, commercial, route, they have different size max before I start adding to it. Residential, it's all the same. Unless it's ungodly. I have a couple jobs where the piece of glass is $40,000. It's special made, weird. Okay, I'm going to charge more. But a normal, a 48-inch double hung versus a 36-inch, I'm not going to worry about that size. The size of the glass does not mean it takes you longer when it's in those variables between a 3 and a 4 foot. It's the frames that take the time. That's why French windows cost more than regular windows. Not the panes. The size of the glass is the same. It's the frames. The frames take you so much longer. That's why we don't squeegee French windows. Right? So residential is at $7.50 a pane. And by the way, if you're watching or listening, jump into Pro Window Cleaning, into YouTube, into Facebook. Comment on Spotify. Again, Spotify is a great platform. Comment there. Tell me what you charge. I would love to know what you charge per pane on a residential. I'm at $7.50 for the outs. And if I'm doing inside and outside, I'm at $10 total for the pane. If people are like, oh, so you're really only charging $3 for the inside? Not really, no. What I'm doing is I'm charging $5 for the inside, $5 for the outside, basically. But if you're only going to have me do the outside always takes longer. It's always dirtier. I always have to do more work. I have to worry about a ladder or a water fed or trees or air conditioning. Like outside windows are always more work than inside. Inside you walk up. Yeah, you have to move a couch or tchotchkes. I get that. But you're still walking up, typically, unless you got those foyer windows, front entrance windows, or you got back elevated open air spots. But yeah, sometimes you have to get in there with a stack ladder, right? Get that. But for the most part, the outsides are always dirtier. There's always more to them. You will never meaning 99.99% of the time. You'll never have somebody who says, hey, I just need the insides of my windows done. They say either I need the outsides done or ins and outs, right? So we're always front loading that outside only. Don't think that the insides, I'm only charging $2.50 a pane. I'm front loading it, right? And you may charge more per pane. But that puts it at a double hung window for inside and outside is $20. Now I'll get to the other services, residential or route and commercial. But in residential, you have that as your main starter. Then you have screen cleaning. Screen cleaning comes in $5 a screen. I love the screen cleaner. That makes it so much easier, and then also allows you to charge the prices. It makes people stop. People ask questions. People are like, yeah, I got my screens cleaned too. They pulled out a machine for screen cleaning. Like, I love the screen cleaner. It makes you more money from just people like, what are you doing? Than anything else, even water fed. But screen cleaner or not, $5 a screen. And then the one other upsell in the window would be deep cleaning the seals, sills, track, that kind of thing. We call it track cleaning. But what that is I'm going to get a battery-powered vacuum and a toothbrush or track brush or sill brush or whatever, and I'm going to brush the things out. It's when they're really dirty. I'm brushing them out, vacuum them out, then I clean the window, and then I wipe the sills afterwards. If you are doing track cleaning, do not forget to do that and then do it after the window, because now it's mud. It's so much harder. Wait to do the windows. Just do the sill, do the track first, because it's dirt. You can loosen it with the brush and suck it up. It's gone. Then that final wipe is what cleans it. Super quick. But it adds a little bit of time. I always tell people, when I do residential, I am going to wipe the sill, but just because I got to get water there. I'm not going to clean it. That's not typical. So if somebody says, hey, I just want everything, $10 a pane for the inside and outside. So on a double hung, it's $20. $5 for the screen, $25, $3 for the track. That's your total. That is everything that could be done in a residential window set. And then people who either are new in this or are just unconfident, they'll jump in and they'll be like, well, I got a house with 64 panes. They're not. Yeah, they know they have 64 panes. Do you think that anything that they do is going to be the price of like a small little 1,000 square foot house? Like if you're doing a home that's 10,000 square feet, you don't have to charge more because the house is fancy. Charge your normal prices. There's going to be more windows. Like they understand they have a 10,000 square foot house. They understand that they pay $2,000 a month for landscaping. The bills are not the same. Don't say, well, we do some big houses, we can't charge that. What are you talking about? If somebody pays $5 million for a house with a view, they paid for the view. You're going to clean the windows. Like, it's window cleaning. I I have to say, whenever somebody says, well, I can't charge that in my area, yes, you can. No, my customers wouldn't. No, you absolutely don't know that. You do not know what they'll pay because you haven't changed your prices. You're too scared to try to charge the right price. And if that's the case, fine. But don't tell me they won't charge. It's you. You're telling yourself that. You made that up. Your customers didn't. Well, I tried to raise my prices and everybody kept saying no. No, you were like unsure of it and you didn't sell it confidently. And people were like, no. Like a good salesperson who's confident in their answers can sell anything. You can at the right price. It's not always potato to potato or whatever the phrase is, right? If it's me and another company standing next to each other and we both say our price and I'm higher, you go, well, yeah, the other guy's going to get it because he's lower. No, because you didn't tell him what you're getting for that. If you go, well, I clean windows, and the other guy goes, I clean windows, and the other guy says, I'll be $1, and you say, I'm $300, they're going to go with the other guy because all they know is you both clean windows and one guy's way cheaper. But if that guy goes, I clean windows, I'll charge you $1, and I say, I'll charge you $300, and we not only clean the windows, but we are fully insured. We have a 7-day rain guarantee. We are the most highly reviewed company in our area. We've been doing this for years. All employees are badge tagged. You know, you can sell them, and they're going, well, why am I hiring this other guy who's going to take the bus to my house? I'm hiring this guy. This is a real company. Look at this, all the stuff I'm getting. Make it dumb for them to buy anything else. It's not the price. It's your information. Real quick. Shameless plug. Now, by the way, last week, if you watched it, it ran super long with Wesley, but super good podcast. I didn't shameless plug at all. So hopefully I can catch a few of you who aren't buying from me, but I'm a rep for windowcleaner.com, the greatest place in the planet for window cleaning supplies. Absolutely. We have the largest inventory in the world for window cleaning. It's crazy. We have over $10 million worth of stuff sitting on shelves. It's fantastic. We ship same day if ordered before, 3 p.m. East Coast time. Who does that? We have like 65 people in our warehouse. I mean, we are absolutely amazing. And on top of that, I'm absolutely amazing. And I want to be your rep. So let me know. Give me a call, 862-312-2026. If you're still listening to Shameless Plug and you haven't fast forwarded. Also, I keep forgetting this, but I started working with Jobber as far as like doing demos, and we're going to do some video content and stuff together. And because of that, I have a discount code, which is in the show notes. 20% off Jobber. Freaking nuts. I haven't done a demo in a while in Jobber. Like, you guys never hear me talk about CRMs, and I'm like, I gotta get updated doing all these demos. Jobber is nuts at what it could do. It is so streamlined. I'm not gonna get into it. You can go anyway from bidding to scheduling, and your techs have access, and your techs can pay. It's insane. If you haven't done a demo yet, do demo with Jobber. Anyway, and plus. I also own American Window Cleaner magazine. So if you haven't gotten a subscription yet to the greatest window cleaning magazine in the galaxy, I would say, better than any on any planet. It's a fair assumption. Go to awcmag.com, get a subscription, and be amazing for that. awcmag.com. Great magazine, great stickers. Go do that. Anyway, back to it. So we talked residential, which is really the more in-depth version. Route window cleaning, super easy. Route window cleaning, I want every job done every week. If I have to, I'll do every 2 weeks, but it's always weekly. 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. Not monthly, once a month, twice a month. Because there's technically 52 weeks in a year, so if you're doing it weekly, you get more cleanings. I get that. But if you're doing it every single week of the year, then or every two, how do you schedule two? Like, if it's every 2 weeks and 1 week has an extra week in it, sometimes there's like not 4 solid weeks, Sunday, to Saturday, right? Sometimes it starts on a Thursday and ends on a Tuesday or whatever it is. We want to go by week because guess what? If I schedule by the week, I can plan it with everything. Every 2 weeks I'm here. Okay, I'm always in that area every 2 weeks. No matter what, no matter the day, no matter what it falls on, the weeks can change, variable. Weeks make so much more sense. And I can schedule everything way easier. But here's the pricing. The pricing goes at route window cleaning per pane at $2 a side. Some people are at like $250, I know. Some people say that they're charged the same price as they do residential. You're not a route company. You probably have a couple of them. Like, that doesn't even make sense. You're so far out of the ballpark. And people go, well, how do I make money at that? The storefront's got 4 windows. Yeah. It's every single week. And every store around it you're doing. Like, that's route. Route only makes money once you have a route. Like, we had certain stops where the truck stopped, and for 4 hours, the guy was walking around cleaning glass to get back in the truck. He didn't even move the truck for 4 hours. That's how tight everything was. That's a route. That's when you're now making $100 an hour doing route. If you're like, yeah, I hate route because I make like $40. That's because you haven't tightened the route yet. The hardest part to do. You're not out to make beer money. You have to increase the number of jobs in the area so that you can just be cleaning. The route window takes so much. It's boom, scrub quick, squeegee quick, detail quick, next window. That's as much as you do in a route. Very, very seldom do you even pull a razor out, right? Unless there's like tape on a door or something weird. Like, they're just fast. I skip windows and route a lot. Like, if I'm doing the inside and there's something, they put up a poster or they put up a display, or I'm just going around that window. Like, that's it. If I'm doing a route restaurant and there's people at the booth, I don't clean that week. I go to the next one. Like, oh, you charge them for... Yes. Route is different. Understand that if you're a diesel mechanic, that's different than an import mechanic. No, they're mechanics. You can't charge... Yes, that's completely different. Completely different knowledge, completely different the way they go, different tools, different computers, different readings. That's all different. Same thing with window cleaning. But route has a really, really awesome benefit. Is the frequency of route gets you through slow time. It gets you through anything. If you're watching this right now, it's March when I recorded this. If you're like, man, frick, this timing has sucked, man. I like spent all my money. Winters are so hard, man. I had to get a job, work at the box factory. If you did all of that, guess what? That's because you're a residential company. Well, yeah, but what do? I put an ad out? No. You can't sell somebody a residential window cleaning in the middle of winter. Very, very seldom can you. But guess what? Route doesn't care. Route is every 2 weeks or every week, no matter what, until you screw up or they go to business. That means that on January 2nd, you got jobs. It could even be snowing, but you're still cleaning. Because it's route. We'll be here again next week. And with route, if I have a guy on a route, I have a route guy. Right? We have crews of 2 for residential, 1 for route, crews of however many for commercial. All I have to do for that one guy is fill 2 weeks of work that repeats. 2 weeks. And I have somebody working 40 hours a week, all year round, making me money. That is absolutely an unspoken thing that is phenomenal. There's a lot of you who are not doing the dentist close, by the way. I know, this year you're going to do it. You swear, right? But you're not doing it. You started January 1 and you didn't have any money on the books. You started January 1 and went, all right, when are we going to start advertising? Are you kidding me? If you're not doing that in residential, you're just wasting an amazing opportunity to be a business, right? Go back. Dentist close makes sense. But if you're doing that and you have route, you already know my route. I know I can have somebody doing route. I know what they're going to make. I know that if they're averaging $100 an hour, they're averaging $100 an hour every single day, all year. That means January 2nd, he's making $800 in production. Well, I'm not doing that for $20. Of course, you have to start somewhere, especially in route. You have to start that way and then bump up. Sell, 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 sell. Route works, right? Sell, sell, sell. Why fish window cleaning? A new fish company comes into your town and all of a sudden they got 300 storefronts. They got salespeople. They know that's the game. Route only makes money when you sell a ton of them. And then you get to commercial. Commercial's phenomenal. The only downside to commercial, in my opinion, is you have to float payroll. And you're like, yeah, that's no problem until something comes up. I'll tell you a quick story. At the time, the largest project we had was, as soon as the job's done, we have the facilities manager, we go through, we take a credit card, boom. I didn't like a credit card because I was paying stupid money in fees, but I got the money right away. We knew that it was all worked in. This job I had seven people on this job for a week. For a week. I had 2 people come back on the following Monday to just touch some stuff up. There was a few things, and they had like a restaurant part of one of these buildings. It was campus. And the facilities manager went through everything and said, hey, these windows here behind these like giant heavy super drapes, there's some drips. We'll go back, clean it all. He goes through, gives us a stamp Monday. Sweet. I drive to the other side of the campus to their accounts payable. I walk in, hey, everything's done. Got the stamp of approval. Great, awesome, we'll file it now. Like, okay. So we normally would take that credit card now then. Oh, yes, starting this year, we changed that. Now, all of our accounts payable are 90 days. 90 days. I'm standing here in front of you. You have all of the documentation and the approvals, but you're somehow going to take 90 days to pay me. That's a crock of stuff. It's a crock. You don't need 90 days. That's just something that they're like, hey, for 90 days, we'll keep our money a little, it sucks. But now I had 7 guys I had payroll for that I have to pay those guys and carry 7 guys of payroll for an entire week, plus 2 days, or plus 2 guys on one day, for 90 days. After I got the check after 90 days, it was phenomenal, but I had to float that. So be careful with commercial. You know you have to do that. You know you have to float it. You know that you have to prepare for that. So do that. That's the downside. The upside is when you get a commercial contract, it's usually a comma. It's usually something with a comma in it, right? Buildings are typically larger. No one on the building talks to you typically. You can do the job anytime. They just want it done spring and fall or whatever. They want it done twice a year. Every commercial job we did, and now the first time you do it, usually is when things get booked. So sometimes it would be like May, they'd finally sign and we get stuff done. Well, we would try to push it out a little bit so it was a little not right during the busy time, but we were too busy to do it. And then we would do it again in pre-fall, which is closer than 6 months, but we're getting them on the rotation of my rotation. If you have commercial, you could put them in whenever you want. And you and I both know, even with route, guys are slower a certain time of year than others. Plan it at those times. Now all of a sudden, in Wisconsin, my March, I'm making tens of thousands of dollars a month in March when I wouldn't have because of the commercial stuff. I haven't even done a house yet, and I've already made, $60-something thousand in just, bigger buildings. Numbers don't matter. It could be less for you. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But the idea is that it fills in your slow time. To have all 3 of these services makes sense. It just makes financial sense to grow the company, to make security, to know what's going on. If I do route and I'm doing the dentist close, I have route. Wait, what I said? Residential is what I meant. If I'm doing residential with the dentist close, meaning I'm scheduled them every 6 months, I do my commercial in the slow time and my route, which I know is once or twice, once a week or once every 2 weeks. January 1st comes along, I have an entire year planned. I already know I have hundreds of thousands on the book. All I have now is just to get more customers. Everything that I get now is more customers, more crews, because I know I need crews at this time of year. Like, understand the biggest downfall for window cleaning is that if you do it wrong, it's a seasonal business, and uncertainty is incredible. There are so many, 90% of you, that start January 1st and have no idea what work's getting done. You're like, oh no, well, we'll call people in spring and we'll get. You're hoping. You have nothing in the books. You don't know when your busy season is. You don't know any of that. Take control. Do all three. There's the pricing. I'm off my high horse. But I am a rep for windowcleaner.com, and I get credit for every order I place. Every order. If it's a $50 order, it'll ship free, and I get credit for it, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. If you're over 100, we got a free gift and free shipping, and it doesn't cost you any extra. It's so awesome when you guys and girls can let me put orders in, because I know sending me a text like, yo, Jersey, everything's in my cart. Some people send it on a Saturday, and they know, hey, we don't ship till Monday. I'm not going to probably do that until Sunday night. It's amazing. So thank you to everybody who lets me put orders in. It's the reason I exist on this planet, and I can afford my hair gel and beard oil or whatever you guys say I buy with all this multiple pennies. But thank you. Let me put your orders in. My number is 862-312-2026. Every week somebody tells me about my shameless plug wearing them down. It's great. I also have people who always tell me like, hey, I got a cart. You can buy name brand ramen now or whatever. And they always tell me some funny thing I can buy. So I really appreciate that for all you guys. It's just, it's fantastic. Anyway, also get a subscription to the American Window Cleaner magazine. It is amazing. I've had this for like 3 years now. The stickers are awesome, a labor of love. I personally do the stickers, which gets to be a lot. But the stickers themselves are awesome. If you're watching the video, I got a Windex, just so you know. But it all comes in the magazine, so get a subscription, awcmag.com. Jobber I mentioned because I always keep forgetting, but if you want to go get it. Anyway, I appreciate you guys being here. Until next week, go out there and price accordingly, please. Let me know what your prices are on Spotify. But more importantly, go out there and be epic.